Hello, this is Andrea St. Amand. Happy Saturday to everyone. I want to announce something I'm super excited about. Okay, so first of all, though, before I announce it, I want to identify how it came about and where I'm going with it. So there's two problems that I have noticed in spiritual studies and then also kind of in the world, and you guys are going to totally relate to this. So first of all, I want to demystify a little bit all the energies that are out there that we interact with, and all the philosophies, all the mystical philosophies, and then all the emotional stuff that comes up with each of those. So that's the big picture. So two problems I have seen that relate to this are, one, in the sort of spiritual community, and you can extrapolate this out to anybody. Let's say that you decide that you are pulled toward a certain sort of thing like tarot cards or crystals or Reiki, and you do a training in that, which is usually quite expensive if you're going for a certification. So you do a training, and halfway through the training or by the end of the training, I've seen people be like, that's not really my thing. It's not working, or it's not really my thing. And then a lot of times people will say, wow, well, maybe I just don't have gifts at all. And they'll start feeling like a failure, and they might stop. Or they'll try another realm of energy work, and it's like hit or miss. If that one happens to connect a little bit better, great. But if not, they're still like, well, now I've tried both of these things. I've spent all this money, and neither one is really connecting. So that's one problem that I see when we're kind of forced into a narrow path of trying a modality we think we're called into, but we're not really sure, and we don't even really know what it is. So I don't like anybody to walk away with a sense of failure when it comes to their intuitive gifts, because I want everybody to be awake and very comfortable in their gifts and tapping into them more. So the second problem I see is actually way bigger, and it's everywhere in life, and this is something you're totally going to resonate with, is that a profound lack of emotional intelligence. And I mean a deep, thorough emotional intelligence. I mean not just intellectualizing, oh, I know what anxiety is, or I know what depression is, or I know what fear is. I mean really understanding in our bodies and how to let it go, and what's going on with us when someone presents to us with extreme emotional neediness. So how this shows up in the spiritual community is when people do a training, they then start practicing on their friends or their loved ones, or even some practice clients, and it's not working. And I belong to several professional organizations where we have group professional calls, and the teacher of that modality will be leading the call. And I'll hear people struggling, and I know I can hear, based on my own knowledge, that they're not struggling with the training. They're struggling because they're not really fully understanding all of the emotional issues that are coming up with that training. So no one teaches us ever how to have the emotional foundation to deal with all the stuff that comes up when we're working with our intuition, our instinct, in mediumship, or in any of these other energy modalities. But y'all, this shows up everywhere. When you go to law school, no one teaches you how to deal with the emotional neediness that your client is going to present with, or the emotional, or juggling the emotional neediness of your client versus the lawyer on the other side versus the judge, or any combination thereof. And so what ends up happening is that we get overwhelmed. We're so sent, all this stuff is coming at us, we get completely overwhelmed, and we shut down. And then when we're shutting down, we're disconnected. And when we're in a state of disconnect, we cannot serve. We cannot give advice. We cannot fully show up for our clients. And I don't care whether you're in the medicine or teaching or massage therapist or any of that stuff. We're disconnected because we're overwhelmed. We can't really be serving. We can't give good advice. And if we stay disconnected, anxiety kicks in. And when anxiety kicks in, anxiety is our red flag. It's like your red flag alert, because we're not meant to live in a disconnected state. But no one teaches us how to